What's going on, guys? I'm Tommy, and I'm coming at you with an action figure review. Today I'm going to be reviewing the Tamashii Nation's SHFiguarts Shoretrooper from Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. It's not too often that I pick up an import for my collection, and the times that I do are special occasions. It's either something that I'm like, yeah, the second I saw it, I can't pass up on it, or in this case, it's something that was offered to me as a purchase because someone didn't want it for their collection. I want to give a shout out to the Max Rebo Experience, James, a channel patron and channel member, I believe, too, here on Blitz Transmissions. He reached out to me, said, hey man, I got 2 of these, I only want 1 of them, do you want the other one? I said, hey man, I'll buy it off you. So here I am with this SHF Shoretrooper today. So taking a look at the packaging here, this is the standard style of packaging for Star Wars SHFiguarts. So on the front of the box, you have a big plastic window showing you the figure, all his accessories. You have on the window here in kind of gold, you have the Star Wars logo, Rogue One, SHFiguarts, all the legalese down below. You have beneath that the character's name, as well as the logos for Tamashii Nations and Bandai. On this side, you get a really nice glam shot of the figure here, again with the SHFiguarts logo and some of your other logos. On the back here, you get even more glam shots with some of the different accessories that you can give this guy. I love the loadout so far, excited to get this stuff out of the box. Down here you have some of your legalese here, obviously, I can't read this. And then this is a horizontal side of the packaging showing you just some of the logos again. More legalese on the bottom that I can't even read. And then on the top, you have just even more logos. So, packaging out of the way, let's get this review started. We'll get everything unboxed. And check out behind the window here, behind the figure, there's this really cool card art of the Imperial Cog. This is really striking in that red. All right, here is our Shoretrooper. This is actually the Shoretrooper Captain, I believe. Yeah, I just took a look at my squad leader down from the Hasbro line. This is the Shoretrooper Captain, which was never made by Hasbro. So taking a look at him here, I mean, obviously it's an SHF. This is much more premium than just your standard domestic Hasbro figure, as it should be. You're paying up when you get these, so you know you're getting a very different taste, a different flavor than your Black Series figures. Obviously, the big thing with SHF is the attention to detail and then the smooth, buttery smooth articulation. So just taking a look at him here, he's got all the logos, he's got all the hits. I love the blues and the reds on the kind of khaki colored armor here. It's a great take, and honestly, I think one of the things that Rogue One did best was all their new trooper designs for the Empire. Everything feels like it fits, and look at this, look at all these tiny little paint applications back here on the back of the belt. Love that. And on the back here, it looks awesome. You know, I feel like Rogue One did such a great job just adding stuff into the Imperial military, diversifying it a bit, while also making it still feel like it all fits into the theme of the military. You got a lot of different pouches and stuff going on this guy. Even the thermal detonator on the back of the belt matches the rest here, which is awesome. And lots of like panel lining on this guy. That's one of the biggest things I noticed with this guy is all the panel lining. And again, it just really brings out a lot of the sculpted detail that's already there on the figure. Let's take a look at his articulation here. So what he's got is a like kind of barbell jointed neck. So he does have a ball joint at the top of the neck here, and then he does also have a ball joint at the bottom of the neck. So this guy's gonna be able to look down quite a bit. He can also look up quite a bit, which is awesome. Some great tilt here, some really, really nice tilt, and then some right and some left as well. You do have some really nice shoulder joints here. So there's like a loose like spacer in here that kind of moves on its own to kind of help hide the gappiness of the shoulders here. So you do have a ball joint that gives you all kinds of range, as you can see. The shoulder armor is really cool on this guy too. It's on this like hinge system that actually like pulls away from the upper arm, so you can pose the arm around and then you can put the armor on top and kind of adjust the armor as you need, and you can even twist the shoulder bells too as you need to, and that's something that's really cool about this engineering style that SHF goes with. You can get some great forward and back like a butterfly joint. You can get some hinge, which gets you up to that 90-degree mark, and of course the arms can also swivel a full 360 degrees. One thing I will say with these, definitely be gentle with an SHF figure. This is not a toy the same way that a Hasbro figure figure is. This is a collectible figure. You got to be gentle with them. I have had myself and so many other people have had wrist pegs snap from the figure falling like a foot onto carpeting, and the wrist pegs will snap, broken forever. So just keep that in mind when you're dealing with these, just that they are much more fragile. Back to the articulation though, he does have a bicep swivel, which is great. He does have double jointed elbows. These are not pinned joints, and look at the range you can get on that elbow. Absolutely insane. He does also have a swivel at the base of the forearm, right near the elbow joint, hidden underneath that armor there. And then he does have hinge and swivels at the wrists, very much like a Hot Toy. This is the same kind of style here. So whatever direction you have the hinge facing is the direction that you can, you know, get the swivel in the up and down or the horizontal, whatever you want to do. So we do have two ball joints in the midsection. One where the chest armor meets the midsection armor. You can see that's got some really nice range. And then there's one also at the waist. So you're going to get a ton. Just look at all that range you can get out of this guy. And then of course you do have one of my favorite features, especially when you have these kind of rubbery overlays here, are the drop down hip joints on these figures. Look at how that moves there. It's awesome. And with the drop down, you can get some added range out of the ball joints at the hips. Very nice there. And you get some, look at that, the extent of that in and out. What a ridiculous, this is what the Hasbro hip joints should be like, honestly. I know this is two separate pieces and it's not the same as Hasbro's doing them now in 2025, but I feel like this is a good way to kind of model their hip joints off of if they are updating them. And then kind of as I mentioned too, you got the thigh swivel. Looks like you have a single jointed knee, which is still going to get you some insane range. You do have just that ugly ball in the front though, so just acknowledge that. And then down here at the ankles, you do have a kind of, what is this? A hinge and swivel almost? There's a hinge that goes side to side here, and then there's almost like a little bit of a hinge that goes forward and back. And he does also have foot articulation, so you can really get him in some more balanced dynamic posing here. So now that we've covered the figure himself, I'll show you some of the accessories he comes with for an SHF. You know, some of these are super heavy on the accessories. This one's a little lighter. I don't necessarily have a problem with that. As with most SHF figures, this guy's going to come out of the box with the fist hands. That's what we've had on him since the beginning of the review for some good fisticuffs. He's got a pair of more open idle hands, which are also good for holding accessories. And when swapping out hand options, what I recommend doing is just be very gentle when you're removing one of the hands. You just pull, that's all you do, and then you just pop the next one back in. Just again, I'm going to emphasize this whole review. I myself, and I know many other people too, so I'm really harping on this because, you know, that's why I don't buy too many SHF, because unlike Hot Toys, SHF doesn't give you extra wrist pegs. So if I break one, it's a lot bigger of a deal. But here are those hands. As you can see, they do work as open idle hands, as well as just gripping hands for the offhand on the blasters. And then our Shore Trooper is going to come with, these can be pointing hands, these can be, you know, blaster trigger finger hands, very versatile again. With these ones, you can make them like pick his nose, you can make him point. It's a very versatile hand option. All right, now we're gonna check out this guy's weaponry. So the loadout that this guy comes with, obviously he's a stormtrooper. He's got to come with, honestly to me, something looks weird about this. Is it just me or does this E11 not look like an E11? It might be like a shortened version. Actually, that's got to be what it is. Look at how short the barrel is on this one here. I think this is more akin to the blaster that came with the Andor Shore Trooper from the Black Series line, and I think this is actually more accurate to what the Shore Troopers carry. Either way, it's done in a really nice sculpt. There's no paint apps or weathering on this, which is actually pretty atypical for SHF, but I will say it does look like a really nice accessory. However, we have to go with the more iconic one here, the E22 blaster rifle. This is probably one of the coolest looking blasters in all of Star Wars, in my opinion, especially for the Imperials. This thing's awesome. I love the stock. I love the double barrel up front. This thing just looks absolutely awesome. And honestly, it's such a great addition to a collection, especially for me. I love the Shore Troopers, so having this blaster for my collection is great. Let's get him posed up a few different ways and we'll see how he looks in some more dynamic posing. Just right off the bat with a pretty basic pose here. I mean, this guy just looks so badass. You put the blaster in his hands, and obviously he's a stormtrooper. The second you put a blaster in his hands, they're even cooler than they are without. So I think this is just a great basic pose for your shelf. Man, this guy just looks so cool, and in just a high ready, he's ready to take down some rebels, some insurgents on Scarif. This guy is just awesome. And with that extra pop of color, with him being the captain rank, I think he looks absolutely fantastic. And here's another great one here. Just this was so easy to balance. Sometimes I have some issues getting the SHF figures in those dynamic one-legged poses, but this is just such a natural figure. He's so good with the center of gravity. Everything about this figure I'm just in love with. If I don't stop the review here, I'm just going to keep posing this figure forever and ever, so I'm just going to leave it at this. This is definitely worth picking up. I mean, it's also an older figure, so you might have some trouble finding it on the aftermarket, but if you do for a good price, this is definitely worth every single penny. This is honestly, I think, my favorite SHF figure that I have. And I only have 3 others right now, but I do think this is my favorite one by far. Such an awesome figure. But with that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. If you did and you're not yet subscribed, subscribe to Blitz Transmissions. I've got awesome Star Wars content coming out all the time. If you are an ARC Trooper in my Patreon, you would have seen this review early. If you'd like access to early content, monthly giveaways, and more awesome benefits, make sure to check out the link to my Patreon in the description below. If you're only interested in the reviews or you just want to support the channel in an above and beyond way, you can also check out my channel membership, Rancor Battalion. That has a link in the description below as well, gives you access to exclusive badges, you get access to early reviews, and you get to help vote on what I review next on the channel. In addition to all that, you can check out the links for my Discord and all my social media in the description below. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this review. I'll catch you for the next one, and may the Force be with you.
Breaking off all units. Fire at will. 1, 2, pick your targets. Too many, Captain. Watch your stabilizer, Gold 6. Anybody cover me. I got 2 vultures on my tail. You've got to hold them here. Watch your left. I can't shake them. I'm hit.